Hey guys, so I'm going to try and do this video really quickly, but I got a box in the mail today. I have done the tape, but I haven't opened it at all, like seen what was in here. Obviously I know what's in here because I ordered it, but okay, invoice can go over there. More paper. I actually ordered 2 orders. This one is the smaller of the 2. The other one is coming hopefully tomorrow, if not Monday. So yeah. The first book in here is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. This is a Will Moses edition, and I got it because it's illustrated. So, kind of a kiddie book. You can't even see that. Kind of like a kiddish style illustrations, but I think it was like $1 or $2. I don't remember how much it was. So, I got it. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. So, there's that one. Sorry, I have a painting drying so I can get the second half of it going. Okay, so the next book that I got is Not Without My Sister by Christina, Celeste, and Juliana, the true story of 3 girls violated and betrayed. And it says Christina, Celeste, and Juliana were born into a cult, the Children of God. But their experience were a world away from the traditional Christian understanding of love and forgiveness. From as young as 3 years old, the 3 sisters were treated by their guardians as sexual beings and were forced into openly abusive relationships. They were denied access to formal schooling, forced to wander the streets begging for money, and mercilessly beaten for crimes as unpredictable as reading an encyclopedia. In Not Without My Sister, Christina, Celeste, and Juliana relive how they survived and then escaped a cult that has claimed the lives and innocence of thousands of its members. Theirs is a story of immense love and immeasurable bravery. So, got that. Didn't have books all over the place. I got, ooh, that was pretty. Okay. I got, if I can find it. Okay, this is Reboot. Can't remember if this is the first book or the second book. I got both of them. Okay. And this is Rebel. Okay, so Reboot is the first book. Rebel is the second book. And they're by Amy Tintera. And it says 5 years ago, Ren Connolly died. After 178 minutes, she came back as a reboot, stronger, faster, able to heal, but also less emotional. The longer reboots are under, the less human they are when they return, making Ren 178 the deadliest reboot in the Republic of Texas. Now 17 years old, her favorite part of her job is training new reboots, but her latest newbie is the worst she's ever seen. As a 22, Kalam Rees is practically still human. His reflexes are too slow. He is always asking pesky questions, and his ever-present smile is freaking Ren out. And yet, he's still her newbie. When Kalam falls short of reboot standards, Ren is told to eliminate him, but the perfect soldier is done taking orders. So, I thought that was really interesting. This one's the second one. I'm not going to read the back of the second one because I don't want to give away anything in the first one. Okay, so next we have Shallow Graves by Callie Wallace, and it says her end was just the beginning, and Ooh, pretty. There's a black rose on it. Okay, so this book, it says, Breezy remembers leaving the party, the warm, wet grass under her feet, her cheek still stinging from a slap to her face. But when she wakes up, scarred and pulling dirt from her mouth, a year has passed and she can't explain how. Scared and pulling dirt from her mouth. I can't read. Nor can she explain the man lying at her grave, dead from her touch, or why her heartbeat comes and goes. She doesn't remember who killed her or why. All she knows is that she's somehow conscious, and not only that, she's able to sense who around her is hiding a murderous past. Haunted by happy memories from her life, Breezy sets out to find answers in the gritty, threatening world to which she now belongs, where killers hide in plain sight and a sinister cult is hunting for strange creatures like her. What she discovers is at once empowering, redemptive, and dangerous. Sounded interesting. Okay. Then I got these two books, and okay. Mask of the Red Death and Dance of the Red Death. Okay, so this one's the sequel. So this is Mask of the Red Death, and look at that cover. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, and the pages are all like torn. Let's see what the inside looks like. Okay, just a book. It is, I don't really remember what this one was about either. It says everything is in ruins. A devastating plague has decimated the population, and those who are left live in fear of catching it as the city crumbles around them. So what does R.B. Worth have to live for? Nights in the debauchery club, beautiful dresses, glittery makeup, and tantalizing ways to forget it all. But in the depths of the club, in the depths of her own despair, R.B. will find more than oblivion. She will find Will, the terribly handsome owner of the club, and Elliot, the wickedly smart aristocrat. Neither is what he seems. Both have secrets everyone does, and R.B. may find not just something to live for, but something to fight for, no matter what it costs her. So, that is cool. And the chapter pages, if I can get to one, have like that on them, some smokiness. And then the second one is the same on the inside. So they both have blurbs on the back by Edgar Allan Poe. Quotes. Not blurbs. He's been dead for a while. In them beat feverishly the heart of life. And this one says, there are chords in the hearts of the most reckless which cannot be touched. So, I got both of those for fall. Okay, then I got Losing Faith by Denise Jayden. A Terrible Secret, A Terrible Fate. And I just thought it was a really pretty book. When Bree's sister Faith dies suddenly, Bree's world falls apart. As she goes through the bizarre and devastating process of mourning the sister she never understood and barely even liked, everything in her life seems to spiral further and further off course. Her parents are a mess, her friends don't know how to treat her, and her perfect boyfriend suddenly seems anything but. As Bree settles into her new normal, she encounters more questions than closure. Certain facts about the way Faith died just don't line up. Bree soon uncovers a dark and twisted secret about Faith's final night, a secret that puts her own life in danger. Pages are kind of pinkish or purplish. It's interesting. It may just be an older book. But look, see, they kind of have like a pink tone to them. Okay, then I got The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. This is a movie also, and it's the movie tie-in edition, and I've been wanting this book. So a seasoned journalist chases down the biggest story in history. Is there credible evidence that Jesus of Nazareth really is the Son of God? Retracing his own spiritual journey from atheism to faith, Lee Strobel, former legal editor of the Chicago Tribune, cross-examines a dozen experts who are recognized authorities in their fields of history, archaeology, and manuscript studies. Strobel challenges them with questions like, how reliable is the New Testament? Does evidence for Jesus exist outside the Bible? Is there any reason to believe the resurrection was an actual event? Strobel's tough, point-blank questions make this best-selling book read like a captivating, fast-paced novel. But it's not fiction. It's a riveting quest for the truth about history's most compelling figure. And then it goes on about the movie tie-in, and I guess that there's a Q&A at the end. And I really like when authors do this too. So there's like oh gosh, what is an index type, notes index thing of where you can go, a list of citations where you can go to actually look at these books and study what he studied for yourself as well. And then along with that is the Case for Christ Answer booklet by Lee Strobel, Solving the Biggest Mystery of All Times, answers to 20 of the most asked questions about the Christian faith. So, got that. And then I do not remember. Okay. I don't know what order these came in. I got Nevermore, which I know is the first book. Okay, so it tells me on the back. And Shadowed, which is the second book. And then Oblivion, which is the third book. When I first heard the blurb for this, I thought, oh, it's kind of another Twilight retelling. But then I found out it was Edgar Allan Poe based, and then I had to have it. I like Twilight. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing Twilight. Sorry if you're not a Twilight fan. But I just don't necessarily care for retellings too much. But anyways, okay. Cheerleader Isabel Langley is horrified when she is paired with Varen Nethers for an English project. Cold and aloof, sardonic and sharp-tongued, Varen makes it clear he'd rather not have anything to do with her either. But soon Isabel finds herself making excuses to be with Varen. Steadily pulled away from her friends and her possessive boyfriend, Isabel ventures deeper and deeper into the dream world Varen has created through the pages of his notebook, a realm where the terrifying stories of Edgar Allan Poe come to life. As her world begins to unravel around her, Isabel discovers that dreams, like words, hold more power than she ever imagined, and that the most frightening realities are those of the mind. Can she save Varen from the madness taking hold of him, or will they both be consumed by the shadows of his nightmares? So, got that one. Really excited to read that one. But right now I am currently reading Stalking Jack the Ripper. So, among other things, but okay. Red Star Tattoo, My Life as a Girl Revolutionary by Sandra Larson. And that's what the book looks like. Okay. A small, skinny 8-year-old girl holding a teddy bear stands by the side of a country road with a young man she barely knows. They're hitchhiking from a commune in Quebec to one in California. It is 1973, and somehow the girl's parents think this is a good idea. Sandra Larson is a childhood in which family members come and go, and where freedom is both a gift and a burden. Her mother, thrown out of home as a pregnant teenager by her evangelical preacher father, is drawn to the utopian ideals and radical politics of communism. Her Aunt Susie is gripped by schizophrenia, her behavior so erratic she eventually loses custody of her daughter. And then there is her cousin Dana, shunted back and forth long distance between her parents. Dana, whose own need to escape leads to tragedy. Looking for a sense of family, searching to belong, to have your life mean something. This is what all these girls and young women share. As a teenager, Larson moves to Brooklyn, embedding herself with an organization known publicly as the National Labor Federation and privately as the Communist Party USA Provisional Wing. Over her 3 years at the national headquarters, Larson worked 16-hour days, eager to prove herself. Noticed and encouraged by the old man, the organization's charismatic leader, she becomes one of his special girls, as well as the youngest member of their militia and part of the inner circle. But even as she and her comrades count down the days until the dawning of their new American Revolution, Larson's doubts about the cause and the old man become increasingly difficult to ignore. Red Star Tattoo explores the seductive and dangers of extremism and asks what it takes to survive a childhood scarred by loss, abuse, and the sometimes violent struggle for belonging. So, thought it sounded pretty good. I don't know. It does have pictures in there, apparently, of her, I guess, as a child. So, I just feel like that's going to fall over. Okay. Oh, I got a coupon for $5 off. That would have been handy when I placed my last order. Okay. The accident season. I've heard this all over YouTube also. For Kara and her family, every October is inexplicably accident-prone. Some years it's bad, like the season when her father died, and some years it's just cuts and scrapes. But this accident season, when Kara, her ex-stepbrother Sam, and her best friend Bea are 17, none of that will make a difference, because the lines between fantasy and reality are starting to blur, and some secrets are threatening to be revealed. So, oh, and this one is by Mariah Fowley Doyle. And the Nevermore series is by Kelly Craig. So, I forgot to say that. Okay, last. This one is called 359 by Gretchen McNeil. What it looks like. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Got 359 embossed down in here. Okay. Josie Byron's life is spiraling out of control. Her parents are divorcing, her boyfriend Nick has grown distant, and her physics teacher has it in for her. When she's betrayed by the two people she trusts most, Josie thinks things can't get worse until she starts having dreams about a girl named Jo every night at the same time. 3:59 a.m. Jo's life is everything Josie wants. She's popular, her parents are happily married, and Nick adores her. It all seems real, but they're just dreams, right? Josie thinks so until she wakes one night to a shadowy image of herself in the bedroom mirror, Jo. Josie and Jo are doppelgangers, living in parallel universes that briefly overlap every 12 hours at exactly 3:59. Fascinated by Jo's fabulous life, Josie jumps at the chance to cross through the portal and switch places for a day. But Jo's world is far from perfect. Not only is Nick not Jo's boyfriend, he hates her. Jo's mom is missing, possibly insane, and at night shadowy creatures feed on human flesh. Josie is desperate to return to her own life, but there's a problem. Jo has sealed the portal, trapping Josie in this dangerous world. Can she figure out a way home before it's too late? From master of suspense, Gretchen McNeil, comes a riveting and deliciously eerie story about the lives we wish we had and how they just might kill you. Grass is not always greener on the other side. So, that's the last book I got for right now. I have another order coming because, yeah, I found their clearance section. So, I will be back with that whenever it gets here. Like I said, either tomorrow or Monday. So, thanks for watching. Bye.